Alrighty guys, and welcome back to another week checking out the shrine. So right now I can tell you, looking at the shrine, I can see 1 to 2 decent perks depending on how experienced you are as killer, and a couple of mediocre perks at best. Okay, so right now I'm looking at Enduring, which is a Billy teachable. It is a fantastic perk. It is unlocked at level 30 on the Billy. It is a killer teachable. I strongly recommend you do level up Hillbilly if you haven't already done so. He moves at 115% movement speed. He has a chainsaw that makes him go at 230% movement speed while approximately in a straight line. While he's revving his 2.2 second charge time saw, he can flick almost as a tight 45-degree angle. Maybe not that dramatic, but if he's running things like spike shoes, moonshine, that he can get mad flicks off with his chainsaw. He's very powerful. I do not recommend buying this out of the shrine unless you are literally not going to level Billy. He is so powerful, or you're going for the blood points. I would always recommend getting the Billy to at least level 30. He's going to give you good situational awareness. He's going to allow you to learn how to start your chases and follow up, just much like the Wraith. The Billy relies on sheer movement speed to get to a destination, as opposed to the Wraith kind of relies on stealth, both of which can be changed in accordance with running Doom engravings, running movement speed, Windstorm add-ons on Wraith. It can change in accordance, but we're not here to talk about the Wraith. So Enduring's a good perk. What it allows you to do is it allows you to recover 50, 60, and 75% quicker from pallet stuns. Now, you'll know if you've watched any of my videos before, I always recommend on a lot of the killers, not all of them, that you have a perk to speed up the game in your favor, a perk to slow down the game in your favor, a perk for situational awareness, and a utility perk to benefit what you're lacking in or what you want to excel in. So, for example, a perk to slow down the game could be Pop Goes the Weasel. A perk for utility could be, maybe you want to run Devour Hope. A perk to clutch the game, make your choice, and a perk to help you speed up the game, Enduring. Brutal Strength. Realistically, Fight Up is an option. Fight Up sucks. I don't recommend it. Bamboozled kind of doesn't interact in terms of this feeling. I would rather have Bamboozled as a utility perk. Now, the reason I'm saying that is a lot of the maps you could get the game, and on the game there is like 6 windows on the map that you could steal, none of them in really incredibly good locations where a survivor can loop. Then again, you could get it on Red Forest, Bamboozled on Red Forest. So it's like a 50-50 perk. You might get a good map, you might get a bad map. You're gambling on a perk, and if you're already running Ruin, you're gambling on 2 perks. How much more do you really want to gamble? Alright, this being said, going back to Enduring, when you're versing really good survivors, you'll notice they'll run up to a pallet, they'll wait at the pallet, you might walk up and step back, then they'll run another loop. This is costing you time. Now, efficiency is very important. If you watch any of my content, you'll notice I say never overcommit more than 15 seconds unless you see an obvious mistake from the survivor. If you hit him and you go, I'm gonna rotate now, he's gone off in this direction, then he pops his head out in a bad way, take him out, do it. You see an easy opportunity, you take advantage of it. Remember, your objective is to kill everyone. Now, I'm not saying be merciless, alright? Sometimes, if you're versing newer people, you can be a little bit more gentle, maybe let one get the hatch. But what I'm saying is, you want to speed up the game in your favor with a perk like Brutal or Enduring. I recommend Enduring over Brutal. There are 2 killers I recommend Brutal on, and that is Michael Myers, because I run Modern Abuse for a small heartbeat alongside Discordance for situational awareness, allowing me to get Myers in tier 2 has a 16 meter heartbeat. Modern Abuse makes it an 8 meter. If I put on Dead Rabbit, minus 25% makes it a 6 meter. Allows me to get closer. So I get really close, pop tier 3, down 1, come up to the pallet. The other guy generally panics, throws a pallet, and then runs off 2, and I break it with a 20% quicker. Enduring allows me to walk through things. So the only 2 people I recommend Brutal on would most likely be Leatherface as well, with Play With Your Food, because Leatherface is like a 2.5 second chainsaw without tuning guide and the movement speed from beast marks. You slow down when revving a saw with Play With Your Food stacks. That counters that completely. You can respect the pallet, walk through, and chainsaw somebody. He might try a spin on you, just body block him in between the pallet, chainsaw him down, or just follow him all the way around, because you're going to have the movement speed enhancement as long as you have stacks and have found your obsession. Looking at this a little bit more so, guys, I'm just going to quite frankly say Enduring is king. You want to walk through pallets. If the guy pallet stuns you, break the pallet. If he's at a really good jungle gym with 2 nice windows, shack pallet and shack window, take the pallet that you got, rotate away, come back and get him later. Get him through altruism. If he's doing 1 generator in the corner of the map, there's nothing around there but a lot of pallets, no exit gate, nothing to worry about. Let him go. Let him do his thing in the corner and rotate. You know he's down there. Now you know there's 1 guy on the hook, and you find the other 2 on Discordance. Now you know where every single player is. Do you know what I mean? It's all about situational awareness. This allows you to get around the board more quicker and efficiently. It is one of the first perks that was in Dead by Daylight in terms of the Billy's been out for a while. It hasn't changed, and it's always been such an amazing perk, so I can quite frankly recommend it. Goes very well with Spirit's Fury. Now, Enduring allows you to recover from a pallet stun 75% quicker in tier 3. Spirit's Fury allows you to break a pallet while recovering from stun. Yes, you need to break 2 pallets prior, so if you break 2 pallets and lunge through a pallet, and you're the hillbilly, you lunge through a pallet, you hit the guy, you break the pallet from recovering recovering 75% quicker with Spirit Fury Enduring. You walk through your M1 almost straight away before he even gets that movement speed. You've got him. You lunge through the pallet, he breaks the pallet, and then you walk through and chainsaw him if you didn't get the M1 hit. You could change your playstyle to adapt on whether you got the hit or didn't get the hit. Works perfectly with Spirit Fury. The only killer I recommend Spirit Fury on without enduring would probably be Freddy Krueger, and just walk through every pallet while they're falling asleep. They throw it, great, you break it, you rotate, you just keep pressure on as Freddy. Moving on to the next perk. Wow, now this one's a little bit of a tilter. This is called No Mither, okay? Now I used to think it was No Mither, but the devs have confirmed it's No Mither. This perk allows you to have the unbroken status. This means you go down in 1 hit rather than 2 hits. Sorry guys, trying to turn the aircon on. It is pretty damn hot in here. I'm not saying I'm hot, I'm saying it's hot temperature. Right, okay. Moving on, so No Mither is a bit of an interesting perk. You go down in 1 hit rather than 2 hits. You have no cries when you are injured from pain, which is very, very important, and grants the ability to fully recover from dying state. So if you're slugged, you can get back up off the ground. What is a slug? It's when a killer hits you on the ground and walks away or changes target to someone else who was nearby. You can recover your bar fully and get up, just like Unbreakable, except Unbreakable is a one-time use, and Unbreakable allows you to do it faster. This does not allow you to do it faster. Now, why would you want to start the trial permanently hurt and unable to be healed? That is a good question. There is a perk called Resilience. Resilience gives you 9% faster searching chests, hook saves, generator work. Vault only applies to a medium and a slow vault, not a fast vault. Fast vault is always at a set time. Looking at these kind of things, then you can actually make a build. You can also run This Is Not Happening, which gives you a 30% bigger skill check if you're really struggling with your skill checks. But if you're struggling with your skill checks, I wouldn't recommend running No Mither in the first place. Stepping back, if I was to run this perk, I would go, okay, great. I want Resilience, so I want to start by working 9% quicker. I want Prove Thyself, because I want to be able to work 10% quicker when an ally's nearby. Now I work 19% quicker. My ally will work 10% quicker. We both go on a generator. It's 44 seconds without... it's 44 seconds to do a generator with 2 people on it with no benefits. With Prove Thyself and 2 people on there, you delete diminishing returns, so you guys are both working, meaning it's done in 40 seconds. If you also use Resilience on top of that, it's done, I know you're going to think 4 seconds quicker, but it's actually done 2 seconds quicker, because remember, you can only do it so fast as opposed to your teammate can too. Can work really well. My final perk will be Dead Hard, because I'd need something to defend myself from the killer. Right? Not a great perk, it's a David King perk. If you are new to Dead by Daylight, don't touch this with a 10-foot pole. If you aren't new to Dead by Daylight, don't touch this with a 10-foot pole. The really bad perk, I mean, you can run some memeing builds. You can go all run No Mither, all run Resilience, all run Empathy, because you can see your hurt allies when they have Empathy. Now you have 128 meter Empathy. You know what I mean? Right, 128 meter Bond. It's a bad perk, alright? It needs tweaks to be worth it. It needs more blood points or something to make you want to actually run it. I will run it now and then. I don't expect big plays from myself when I'm running such a huge disadvantage. Killers won't respect pallets, killers will tunnel you, killers will actually camp you with No Mither. It's just really, it's an unfun magnet. Like, drawing in the unfun. And I'm a Fungoose, not an unfun. Right, moving on to the next perk, we got Nurse's Calling. Now, as you know, a Nurse's Calling is a nurse perk. Now, the nurse is a pretty interesting killer, right? She has 3 teachable perks. Her first one she unlocks is Strider at level 30. Right? I believe her 3rd perk she unlocks is Nurse's Calling, which is at level 40. Now, why is Nurse's Calling a really good perk? Right. 20 meters in tier 1, 24 meters in tier 2, and 28 meters in tier 3. You can see a survivor's aura when healing. Now, the nurse has a 32 meter heartbeat. You run Modern Abuse, that 32 meter heartbeat goes down by 8. Puts it on a 24 meter heartbeat. Now you have a 24 meter heartbeat, but can see people heal 20 meters. A nurse can blink 20 meters in a 2-second charge by default. You now add the Pinecone and the Grasp. You can now blink 32 meters in a 2-second charge on your first blink, and then 12 meters on your second blink. You can close the entire distance and down people. They're going to call you a lot of bad words. It is pretty sweaty. I don't run Nurse's Calling on my nurse. I run Distortance, Infectious Fright, Barbecue and Chili, and Pop Goes a Weasel, and I managed to pull some pretty incredible plays with that kind of build. Who would I recommend running Nurse's Calling on? That is a good question. I would recommend it on people with small terror radiuses. If you're new to the game, you can run it on Michael Myers. Michael Myers has a 6 meter terror radius in tier 1, a 16 meter terror radius in tier 2, and a larger terror radius in tier 3. Excuse me. Looking at these kind of things, you could put Monitor and Abuse on Myers' 16 meter heartbeat, take it down to 8 meters, Run the Dead Rabbit add-on, 25% of the heartbeat, make that a 6 meter. Now you have a 6 meter heartbeat and can see people healing 28 meters away. Sounds really good. I don't rely on it because I don't generally like hunting people down that are hurt. I like to split pressure on different targets and eliminate a player when an opportunity presents itself. The mass pressure I get out is very important, especially considering I don't run Ruin at all on Myers. I'm going to be running Corrupt Intervention. It's all about pressure and stability. Keep in mind, don't put too much pressure on everyone, because if they don't heal, then you've wasted your tier 3 prep. I would recommend Nurse's Calling on one killer more than the rest, and that would be the Hag. The Hag can teleport 40 meters between traps if somebody sets one up, providing she doesn't have the waterlogged shoe. With the waterlogged shoe, she can actually teleport to the traps. But otherwise, if there is a Hag trap set off by a survivor, she can then hit control and teleport to it as long as she's within 40 meters. She has a 24 meter heartbeat. I recommend Modern Abuse on her. Reduce that 24 meter heartbeat down to 16 meters. Your heartbeat is now 16 meters. You can see people heal 28 meters away with Nurse's Calling. Gonna allow you to get really close and sneak up on them. Remember, the Hag's pretty small. You can hide your light, walk around the corner. She has some pretty dark looking outfits as well. You can wear the blood, you can wear the black outfit, you can wear the blue outfit, even the green outfit can blend in, the dark red. She can get away with running some pretty nice outfits to help her disguise herself and blend in a little bit better. On top of this, you're looking at your next perk, Make a Choice. If you have a 24 meter heartbeat reduced to 16 meters and somebody does a hook save and you're out of 40 meters, and then that guy, or you're out of 32 meters, that guy gets to make your choice on him. If they trigger a trap and you hit control, you could just teleport down one and then go for the down on the other one. My final perk I choose to run, a lot of people in my audience are going to disagree with. I run Save the Best for last as my 4th perk. You might be wondering, why do you do that, Goose? When I hit a survivor as the Hag, they then travel a distance and they set off 2 or 3 traps, and I can't teleport to them because I'm recovering with the little finger animation, right? If I hit them and I have more than 4 stacks, when they get their movement speed, they will set off another trap. I'll be able to hit them again before they finish the 150% movement speed they get from being hit with 3 seconds. It allows me to pull some incredible plays. It also allows me, if I teleport back to the basement, if somebody's in there, to go hit, I might get Borrowed Time out of the way, I might get Iron Maiden, I might get Metal at Man out of the way, I might get a lot of different pressure and a lot of different targets and a lot of different areas, and if you have maximum stacks, you're in a really good spot, and you can down your Obsession in one hit too, keep in mind, if you get the Make Choice on your Obsession. Hag is more so about prepping though, but we're not here to talk about the Hag. Moving on to the 4th and final perk of the Shrine this week, Sprint Burst. Sprint Burst is an interesting perk, okay? I think this is a very novice perk. It is a teachable from Megan that is unlocked at level 40. Level 30 is unlocked with Quick and Quiet. It's unlocked at 35, sorry. Sprint Burst is unlocked at 35, and then Adrenaline's unlocked at 40. It's a bit of a wasted perk because you need to walk around the entire map to save it, and then sprint when the killer comes towards you. What that does is pretty much, if the killer hits you, you know that movement buff you get for that period of time, that is Sprint Burst. So you can Sprint Burst, then get hit, and then move even more. It's not worth it. You're better off running something like Dead Hard to utilize loops more efficiently, Lithe and Quick and Quiet to outsmart the killer and disappear, maybe even with Dance With Me, Balanced Landing to utilize hills and all these hills and houses, drop downs, such in the game. You know, there's a lot of different ways to utilize perks efficiently. There are a few generators in the game that are in the middle of nowhere. You'll know what I'm talking about. You'll see them and go, wow, this must be one of the Jenny's Goose is talking about. If you're versing a Hillbilly, you're in trouble. If you're versing a Myers, you're in trouble. You're versing anyone with an instant injury, Devour Hope, Haunted Ground, you're in trouble. You're versing Leatherface, you're in trouble. You see a pattern here. People could come up. You're versing a nurse in the middle of nowhere. You're in trouble. Your best weapon against a nurse is line of sight and Iron Will. So just keep in mind that there are a lot of variables that you need to take in mind. Sprint Burst can work in those situations, but generally, really good situational awareness, not paying attention to your skill checks, and more so focusing on where they're coming around. Obviously, try and land your great still, though, but that will probably save your life more often than not. And if you can't, best bet is generally go to the corner of the map, forcing, or the furthest point away from hook, forcing longer time, providing you're not death on hook as well. If you are dead on hook, I wouldn't recommend that, Jenny. If you're brand new into a fresh game, I would recommend going for that Jenny straight away. If you're ambitious and brave, and you want to go, I want to win this game, I don't want a 3-gen strat, head to the center of the map and work on the generator in the middle of the map. It takes 80 seconds to do a generator. You're probably going to get heat. If your ally gets heat instead, that's great. You complete that, you're now going to force the killer around a much wider rotation, and if it's 110% movement speed Huntress, she's going to be relying on Barbecue or Nurses for situational awareness. You're going to really hurt her a lot. Alrighty guys, so that is all for the Shrine this week. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to come into my live streams. I do stream on Twitch. I'll leave a link in the description below.